Okay, welcome back to part 2. So now we're on the back of the notes and we're going to do some examples. So example number 2, U-V-W. What that means is that point V is between U and W. First thing I'm going to do is actually draw a picture. U and W are the endpoints, V is somewhere in between. It's really important to draw and label a picture. You're going to hear that all the time. Now, if the length of UV is 10, so here's UV, that's 10, and the length of UW is 18. Now, from U to W is the whole thing here. I'm going to draw this little bracket from U to W, that's 18. What is the length of VW? So right now, VW, I'm going to label that with an X. I don't know what that is. Now, you can probably think through this on your own, but what segment addition postulate says is that if I add the parts, it equals the whole thing. So I'm going to make an equation, 10 plus x is equal to 18, and now we're going to do the algebra. I'm going to set up my equation, I'm going to move the 10 by subtracting it, and what we get is x equals 8. Now 8 represents VW, so I'm going to say equals VW, the length of VW. Because I'm not really finding x, what I'm really finding is this piece. Now the thing you can always do is check, and what we'll do is go back to the picture, and if I say this is 8, is 10 plus 8 equal to 18? And the answer is yes. So here's my answer. So I'm done. Number 3, A-B-C. Alright, so that means B is between A and C. There's A, there's C, I'll put B there. Let's label what we know. AB, the length of AB is x plus 3. The length of BC is 4x minus 5. Okay. The length of AC, that whole thing is 33. Find x and the length of BC. So we're going to find two things here. Now, the segment addition postulate says if you add the parts, you have to get the whole thing. So we're going to make an equation. X plus 3 plus 4x minus 5 equals the whole thing, which is 33. And now we're going to solve. Let's combine like terms. So you have a 1x plus a 4x, that's 5x. Then you have plus 3 minus 5. 3 minus 5 is negative 2, equals 33. Let's move the constant. We'll go plus 2, and we get 5x equals 35. And then to undo multiplication, let's divide by 5, and we get x is equal to 7. Okay, now we're not done, because it says find x and the length of BC. So what we're going to do is go back to the picture, and every place you see an x, we're going to put a 7. So we'll do 7 plus 3, which is 10. And let's do this as well. I'll do it up here. 4 times x minus 5. So that's 4 times 7 minus 5. Now you can use a calculator, but 4 times 7 is 28, minus 5 is 23. So that's this piece. Now here's your check. If I add the parts, 10 plus 23, do we get 33? Yes. So this is good. Now let's make sure we answer the question though. It says find x, okay, got that, and the length of BC. So BC, this piece was 23. So I'm going to write BC equals 23. You have to make sure you answer what they want you to answer, so be real careful with that. Okay? Let's do two more. We'll do number 4. If KL equals 26, they already give you the picture, the length of KL. The length of JK is 3x, and the length of KL is 6x plus 2. So KL is 6x plus 2. What is the length of JL? Now, each of these problems can be a little bit different. So in this case, I am not going to add these yet. And the reason is that KL, they give me two different expressions. They say it's 26 and 6x plus 2. So what I can do is set those equal to each other because they're for the same segment. So we'll move the constant, minus 2. 6x is 24. Divide by 6. X is equal to 4. Now what they want though, they say, what is JL? Well, let's go to, JL is the whole thing, but let's take the 4, we'll plug it back into the picture. So we're going to do 3 times x, 3 times 4, which is 12. And then this was 26 already, so if we add those up, 12 plus 26, we get 38. So JL equals 38. And that is your answer. Okay, one more. Last one. We'll do number 5. We're going to save distance formula for another time, so don't worry about that. Number 5, find x and the length of segment MO if the length of segment MN is 10x minus 7. The length of segment MO is 13x plus 13. MO is the whole thing. And then the length of NO is 8x. Now you'll notice that they put arrows on here. Well, we're ignoring those. They don't matter because we're only looking at segments. Okay, so you don't have to scratch those out, but they're not necessary. All right, so what we want to do is we're going to take the parts. This is segment addition postulate. The postulate is just the rule. So the rule says if we add up the parts, we have to get the whole thing. So we're going to make an equation, 10x minus 7 plus 8x equals 13x plus 13. Now you can, if you want, if you wanted to add the x's right away and combine them, you could do that. Just don't mix those up with this expression. That's the other side of the equation. So we'll do 10x plus 8x. So we get 18x minus 7 equals 13x plus 13. I'm going to move the 13x to the other side because it's smaller than 18x. So that's positive 13x. I'm going to go minus, minus. We'll line that up. 18 minus 13 is 5x minus 7 equals 13. Move the constant, negative 7. We're going to go add 7, add 7. We get 5x equals 20. And 5 times x, we're going to divide by 5. And we get x is equal to 4. Now before you stop, take a look at the question. What did they want you to find? Find x and the length of MO. So MO is this whole thing. I'm going to take the 4, let's plug it into here. So that's 13 times 4 plus 13. Now again, you can use a calculator, but that will be 52. I multiply first, then I add 13, and I get 65. So this whole thing here is 65. MO equals 65. Now I can check by plugging it in to these two places. So if I do 10 times 4 minus 7, that'll be 40 minus 7, this is 33. And then 8 times 4 is 32. And I'll take the calculator now. Let's see here. The question is 33 plus 32 equal to 65, the whole thing. Bingo. All right, so that's good. So that means my x is correct, and the length of MO is 65, and that is the end of the notes.